How to do a sperm motility check right now. And the first thing I'll do is I'll just show you the basic supplies that you need for a motility check. So the first thing obviously is a microscope. The scope I'm showing is obviously a very fancy microscope. We're using this because I'm going to show you some videotape of what sperm looks like under the microscope. And we need to use this microscope to do it. But really about any microscope will work for doing a motility check. And there's some scopes out there that are in the hatchery system already or that are very inexpensive, $100, $200, that have plenty magnification for actually doing these motility checks. So really any compound microscope will work, even though I'm showing a pretty fancy one. The other thing you're going to need are some microscope slides, some microscope cover slips. You're going to need a couple of pipettes, and I'm just using some cheap disposable pipettes for this. And then you're also going to need some diluent. And the last thing you're going to need is a sample of sperm. And the sperm I'm showing is actually about 24 hours old. It came from Egan yesterday and it's in a tube, but you might have it in a cup or you can take it straight out of the fish. So more or less, to pull off the motility check, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a microscope slide and I'm going to go ahead and just put it on the stage of the microscope. And then I'm going to get a cover slip ready. And I'm going to set the cover slip right up here close to the stage. Now when you're doing this, the sperm are only motile for less than a minute, and actually a lot of the motility is lost in the first 30 seconds or so. So you want to be as ready as possible and have your microscope turned on, have the slide on there, have the cover slip ready so you can act really quickly once you get the sperm on there and get things activated. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to take the diluent, and then I'm just going to put just a drop of diluent. It's about all it really takes on the microscope slide. And this is the part where you gotta act quickly. So I'm gonna take the sample of sperm next. I'm gonna take my second pipette and I'm gonna put just a dab of sperm inside that diluent. And I don't even put a drop in. A drop is too much. The sperm density is really dense. There's a lot of cells in there. It takes hardly anything. So usually I kind of just swirl down in the pipette, and whatever sticks to the end of the pipette is enough for the motility check. So once I get that sperm, all I'm gonna do, and this is the part where you gotta be quick, I kind of swirl it around in there, throw the microscope slide on, and then I'm able to focus in and look at that sample under the microscope. Okay, so let's give you a picture of what it looks like under the microscope. So I just activated the sperm and I'm looking at it, and you can see these guys are swimming around like crazy. So basically 100% of the sperm in this particular sample are active. And that's what you're really looking for. That's pretty typical of what you're going to see coming out of your hatchery fish, particularly if they're really fresh and you just stripped them. Now, when you're looking at these samples, I think usually it's best to look toward the edge of the microscope slide. And it turns out toward the edge, I think you get a little bit better mixing between the diluent and the sperm, so a few more of the sperm cells activate. And the other thing is a little bit less surface tension on the edge, so the sperm are able to swim around a little bit more freely. So we've had this sperm now activated for probably about 30 seconds or so, and you can see that they're really dying off. They're not as active as they used to be, and that's pretty typical. They only last for about 30 seconds or so.